Hey everyone, and welcome to call number 5 of the Southern Romantics New Consultant Training Webinars. It is Mother's Day, May 8th. What is that? I don't even know what today is. May 8th, yay! So happy Mother's Day to anyone who's watching. Happy Mother's Day to our beautiful Southern Romantics moms and fur moms and pet rock moms. We love you all. This call, we are talking about marketing, social media, and what it means to be a professionista. So if you have no idea what that means, stay on this call because this is gonna be great. So I know in calls past we've talked about your 30-second commercial, your elevator speech, your pure romance commercial, all that kind of fun stuff. So if you haven't, for whatever reason, decided to spend some time in your kit and check out the Soundbites conversation guide, that's a great place to start. So this is going to be one of the best ways for you to market your business as a new consultant. Once I get this up and running, I will show it to you guys. This week we're on my assistant's computer again, so hopefully it doesn't freeze, but that also means that I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. Wait, isn't that all the time? Yes. Yes, it is. All right. So let me get my share screen option up and running for you guys. So Soundbites Conversation Guide. This should look eerily familiar to you if you've been around for any of these phone calls. So this pure romance commercial right here in the lower left-hand side of the page, this is going to be something that you definitely need to commit to memory. So when you're talking to someone there, oh, Sheila, what is it that you do? And then you can just launch into your commercial. You'll eventually kind of like tweak it towards your audience. Obviously, if you're in like a networking event versus like church versus a mom's group, right? You're definitely going to kind of tweak it and make sure that it's matching your audience and what your intention is for it. But it's one of the most important things as a new consultant that you can do is commit this to memory and be ready for it, because you literally never know when you're going to need to drop it and who's going to be listening that might want to do business with you. Word of mouth for us is our biggest source of new clients. So as long as you know what to say, right, then you're going to be able to definitely help get more customers, get more hostesses, get more guests, and you don't freeze up and you're not like, oh, I sell sex toys, right? Because that's not what we do. We do so much more than that. We are amazing. We change lives. So if you haven't already committed that to memory, do it now. I remember my first new, national training I went to. It was 3 months after I got started in the business. And in one of the classes, Chris Ciccanelli, our CEO, said, who knows what a 30-second commercial is? And, you know, half the group raised their hands. They're like, I do. And he just pulled a girl up. He's like, let's hear your 30-second commercial. And, you know, she stuttered, she stammered. She was definitely nervous, like many of us are. But then he gave her $100 in free product just for being brave enough to get up in front of a group and do it. So I'm not saying that I'm going to give you $100 every time you share your 30-second commercial, but you want to be ready with it because you don't know when Chris Ciccanelli might just do that for you. That's pretty sweet. I mean, we could all use an extra $100 in free product, right? I know I could. I love that stuff. I want to talk to you a little bit about the difference between informational and invitational contacts. It might not sound like they're very different, but they are. So informational is like, say we're stuck in an elevator and I give you my opening speech or my 30-second commercial and I say, I'm Megan, I'm a pure romance consultant. We do in-home parties for adult women. We sell lotions, lingerie, lubricants, and bedroom accessories. Have you ever heard of it? Yes, no, maybe, you know, that kind of stuff. And then I just kind of leave it. So that's just informational. It's telling you a bit about what I do, but I'm not actively engaging you. I'm not inviting you to something. Invitational would be where you follow up with an ask at the end. And this is just kind of basic sales 101. So if you're in sales, you have to have an ask. So after doing, and I'm saying ask with a K, not ask like burp, burp, like pinch, pinch. So an invitational would be, we sell lotions, lingerie, lubricants, bedroom accessories. Have you ever been to a party? Yes or no? Would you be interested in hosting a party? Yes or no? Would you like to hear more? Yes or no? Have you ever thought about doing what I do? Yes or no? So it's engaging them in more of a conversation instead of just word vomit. and then just leaving it to them and being like, here's what I just gave you, all this information, deal with it. No, because we want to engage them. We want to see where they're at. We want to see if they're going to fit into one of those categories for us. So either they're going to be a customer, a hostess, a recruit, or they can give you a referral. So everybody you meet is going to fall into one of those categories, man, woman, or child, but don't talk to kids a lot about this. So inviting them to play an active role in your business is super important, but it's the one that we always kind of shy away from. We're worried about being pushy or being salesy, and all that's totally understandable. But you don't need to worry about it, right? It's our business. Just because our ask is a little bit more direct, it's no different than Target or Walmart or anybody else that's selling you something. So that's just a little bit more about marketing. There's tons of books you can read about how to better bring this up in conversation and make it sound more natural, especially if you're on the phone. Just making sure that those cold calls are quick and concise and not crazy. I know with the booking blitz, a lot of us were like, I need to book a party. I need to book as many parties as I can, right? And just getting it where it's just consistent, and you're comfortable, and it doesn't sound like you have to bribe them or beg them or sell them on something. And a lot of that, ladies, seriously, just comes with practice. It comes with time. It comes with learning the right things to say. And I can't tell you what it is because it's going to be different for every single one of you. But I'll tell you, the more trainings you go to, the more different ways you're going to learn how to ask people, and the easier that rejection is going to be, because you know it's going to take about 7 to 10 no's to get a yes. So get ready for that. The next thing I want to touch base with you on, and this is actually something we'll be touching on tomorrow during your meeting, is Professionista. And you might hear that word being thrown around, especially at pure romance events. Professionista is a movement that Patty really focused on probably in about 2013. She was getting a lot of complaints from consultants that were like, my business isn't where I want it to be. I can't tell. I'm not doing anything different, blah, 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 but my sales aren't where I want them to be. You know, people are canceling. I don't think my customers are taking my business seriously. And so she started looking into it. We did a couple, and it was actually really cool. They were party crashers. And so you could enter your parties into the COO like we do for everything else for a competition. And then you never know when they were going to show up. So there would be people that would crash your party with balloons. It's like Publishers Clearinghouse busting into your party. And they were giving away free product. But one of the things they noticed is that the consultants at the parties, they couldn't tell who the consultants were. Because the consultants just looked like party guests. They were just dressed a little inappropriately, dressed a little casually. And one of the first, I'll never forget, one of the first times I shadowed somebody outside of my team, it was someone on my larger team, but it wasn't anyone that was in my direct, under my direct upline. And I showed up in jeans and she sent me home. And I was like, oh man, what? And she's like, when you show up in jeans, what do you think that tells your customers? What do you think they think when you show up in jeans? And I was like, that I look good in jeans? She's like, yeah, but not everybody looks good in jeans. I was like, ouch, burn. And she said, no, it shows them that this isn't serious for you. This is casual, right? This isn't your employment, because you wouldn't go to work in a pair of jeans. And it's more of like a hobby, and it's fun, and they just won't take you seriously. And that's something that I just kind of was like, oh, what? Because my sponsor wore jeans at the party I met her at. The parties I shadowed her at, she was always in jeans. So I just thought jeans and a nice top. I asked her, I was like, what do I wear to a party? And she said jeans and a nice top. So I showed up to shadow this other girl, jeans and a nice top. And then I was like, oh, damn. So I started saving a little bit of money, and I hopped my cute little butt over to TJ Maxx and bought some black slacks that fit, that were appropriate, that at that point, I just got that hem tape because I was too cheap to pay for someone to hem my pants because I'm short, and I just folded it up, ironed a little hem tape on, and then my pants didn't drag, or I had my mom help me with that too. So, but just getting a nice, simple pair of black slacks. And I wore those same pair of pants to like every party until I could afford to buy more pants. So when I say Professionista, I'm talking about what is appropriate business-wise to wear to a party. First impressions will make or break your business. So making sure that you're, showered, your hair's done, your makeup is modest, but you don't look like a showgirl. You don't have like glitter up to here. And that's just appropriate. You want to be approachable. You want to be relatable. You don't want to be something that your customers, when they see it, they're like, oh my gosh, that's unattainable. Or, you know, you never know what your customers think. I've had girls when I walk in and they're like, oh my God, it's you. I was expecting a dominatrix in a cat suit. And that's obviously they don't know the difference because they've never been to a pure romance party. So we're a reflection of Patty. So if all else fails, just think, what would Patty do? What would she wear to a party? And don't worry, because there are a ton of resources out there to help you. So if you're like, Megan, I have a different body type than you. I don't know how to shop for clothes. Y'all, I don't know how to shop for clothes. I know how to shop, but I'd rather spend that money on food. So I'm going to share with you real quick the wonderful world of Pinterest, which I'm sure you guys are all intimately familiar with if you've been behind a computer for any of the last 5 years. Pure Romance has their own Pinterest page with a ton of boards. They even have a Professionista board. And I love this. So it gives you so many different examples of what is appropriate party wear, and how to mix and match clothes and what accessories are appropriate. Now, I know I love this one down here. I don't know if you guys can see it, how to tie a scarf. Because I'm the queen of like, just having it hang or doing the like loop and that's all I know how to do. So learning how to tie a scarf, especially in winter months when, you know, you're going to be cold, all that kind of fun stuff. Just ways to kind of dress it up a little bit or what's appropriate. I love that they've got clothing options for every size woman. It's not just all these like stick thin models, because we are all women. Now these shoes might not be the most practical at a party because I'm very clumsy, and especially if I'm trying to wear heels like that on carpet, I will fall down. But it at least gives you an idea. And I will tell you, the most humbling thing in the world is showing up to a training and you're wearing jeans. And every other consultant there looks fantastic. And it's just like, I don't know how better else to explain it, but it looks like they take their job seriously, and it makes me feel like a schmuck if I'm like underdressed. So I'm not trying to go to prom. I'm not trying to be crazy, but I'm going to try to wear something that's fitted, that fits my body, and it's appropriate, and it's not ratty. I'm the queen of cardigans, but once my cardigans start kind of pilling up, right, I retire those and I have to go buy new ones. And I'm a big fan of TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I love Gap and Old Navy, and I love shopping their end of season sales. So there's a way to do this really financially frugally, right? Shop end of season sales and plan for next year. So big fat rules that Patty has, especially at parties: no jeans, no flip-flops, no leggings, no yoga pants. She's not that into capris. She thinks capris are just a little too casual. I love these pencil skirt options. I think pencil skirts are gorgeous. But just little black trousers, those are perfect. And those you can find basic staples everywhere. I know the Burlington Coat Factory down the road from me, it's like the most ghetto store in the world, but it has all these Calvin Klein separates, and you can get these cute little tops for like $20. So I set aside profits from my parties specifically for attire, and I consider it a uniform because I'm not going to wear that kind of stuff anywhere else. Because like today, I'm in a t-shirt and pajamas. But when I leave the house representing my company, I want to make sure I look good. If I'm running to the post office or I'm running errands and I'm wearing my name tag, I want to make sure I look appropriate. I don't want to be like greasy-haired Megan, like face melting off. I want it to be, oh my gosh. If I ran into a customer, I want them to be able to recognize me, because I actually had that happen at PetSmart once. Is I walked by one of my customers who had she had just hosted a party for me a month previous, and I literally was like, and she called me out on it like a week later. She was like, did I see you at PetSmart last week? And I was like, oh, was that you? And I felt like such a schmuck because I looked like crap. I was in yoga pants covered in dog hair. I was taking my dog in to go get groomed. It was like, rah. But if you're going to be wearing Pure Romance gear or your name tag, you want to make sure you look the part. Because let's say there's 2 women at the post office that sell Pure Romance that are dropping off packages. I'm dressed like casual me in yoga pants and a t-shirt with my hair up in a knot, and then Sheila's there in her nice pantsuit, right, looking all appropriate, and the lady behind the counter has never been to a pure romance party. She has no idea what it is. Who do you think she's going to book a party with, Sheila or me looking a hot mess? She's totally going to book with Sheila. So just be aware of how you're presenting the brand, because it could help or hurt all of your sisters. So this is great. I love this Pinterest page. Oh my God. And without it sounding rude, undergarments are a big deal. All right. So I don't care about panty lines and all that jazz, but make sure if you're going to be wearing something that's a little bit more form-fitting, there's nice smooth lines. So like shaping bodices, all that kind of fun stuff. Just be aware, take pictures of yourself from every angle. You don't have to be a supermodel. You just want to make sure everything looks put together. There's really no polite way for me to say that. And a couple of years ago at national training, that's one of the things. Patty had like this whole room decked out during check-in where you could go and get like your nails done, and like always making sure your nails are clean. If you paint them, they're not chipped. Right. If you have tattoos, and we have a lot of consultants with tattoos, just make sure if there's anything wildly inappropriate, it's not showing at a business event, right? So if you have like something across your chest plate that's just should not be seen for the public eye, especially if it's going to maybe alienate some customers, just make sure you're like, wear a scarf. And it's just being smart about it. But she had this whole area set up with like people that would give you a proper bra fitting, and people that would help style your hair, people that would do brow waxing. So just making sure that you're kind of presenting your best face. And so they have all these other boards. There's so many party theme boards that are fan-friggin-tastic. And then there's the Professionista board I was telling you about, formal events, what to wear to business, world conference things. These are great references. So if you haven't subscribed to Pure Romance's Pinterest board, get on it. And then another thing that you can check out is over here on Patty's blog, and it's pattybrisbane.com. And you can just I searched the tag for Professionista, and she's got a couple articles that she's tagged. And this gives you more reason and more kind of explanation behind the whole movement and why it was important to her. And then she did these Professionista contests where she picked people. You could nominate your sisters for a makeover, and she flew into Cincinnati and shopped with her personal shopper and did all this kind of crazy stuff. So that was pretty cool. And then you might see Emily Wall floating around a lot, and she's Patty's personal shopper at Saks, and I think it's Saks. But she shows up to everything, and she always looks on point. So, and she gives great, realistic advice. She's not like, oh my gosh, go to Macy's and blow $8,000 on a new wardrobe for this season and then get rid of it in 2 months. It's all about classics, getting classic pieces and then getting them tailored. Like, I know I can only speak to my body shape because that's what I've struggled with for the past 30 odd years. But finding something that, like a blazer, that fits me appropriately, that can button, that doesn't pull or tug or like gap, is hard. So spending a little extra money to get it professionally tailored, it's important. And I need to do it instead of just buying a size bigger and having it be like a little frumpy everywhere else, but it buttons. So that's something I need to take my own damn advice on. So you guys can check these out. And these are just floating around on the internet. But that's a little bit more about Professionista. Look amazing. It's going to make you feel more confident when you it's going to project confidence. When you know you look good and you know you look like a boss babe, people are going to want to spend money with you and spend their time with you and book parties with you. Different ways that you can market your business are, and we've talked about vendor events in the past, ladies' night, other opportunities. How do you find events like this? Facebook. See where your friends go on Thursday nights. If everyone's like, oh my God, ladies' night at so-and-so bar, call up so-and-so bar and be like, hey, next Thursday, can I set up a table and raffle off a gift card for any of your customers? And then you use the ballots, and now you've got all these leads dressed professionally. And it's just time for you to set up a little info booth about Pure Romance and gather leads. look at local chambers of commerce, join networking events, anything for professional women, entrepreneurs. Just start getting your name out there. Always show up ready to work. Bring your business cards. Bring a notebook to write down their contact information. And if they haven't brought their business cards, get corporate approval always for vendor events. There's different booth inspiration boards all over Destination Success and the flyers and marketing page, and you can also find them in the community. I know we probably, if you go back into the Southern Romantics photo archives, you'll see booths that we've set up at different events, and you don't have to go overboard. I mean, just your tablecloth, some ballots. If you got the prize wheel, you can use the prize wheel. But just start to kind of get your name out there and start building up a client base, and finding other ways to market your business are awesome. And they should be at the top of your priority list if you're a brand spanking new consultant, because people won't find you if you're hiding in your house behind your computer the whole time. I tried that, didn't work. I had to get out of the house. So even if this is just a part-time gig for you, if you say like, okay, so I had, like for me, I had a party cancel this week, just, one. Just kidding, I had like a million parties canceled this week. But I had already set aside that time to work. So when I went out with the intention of working. So when my Cinco de Mayo party canceled on Thursdays, I still looked real good, put on my name tag, and I met a girlfriend for drinks, and I talked to my business about every single woman that walked by. And went like this week, I've had a couple parties cancel. So if I'm not able to shadow somebody else's party, if I can't figure out how to make that work or fit that in, then I'm going to go out. I'm going to go, now that the weather's nice, there's little concerts downtown, and maybe I'll go to the mall and shop for customers, but I'll find a way to work. But I'm always going to make sure I'm looking appropriate. And the little trick a lot of us talk about is the wear your name tag upside down. And then whoever's nice enough to tell you it's upside down, you start a conversation with them. I had another girl that would just stick a bottle of Coochie in her handbag. And then whenever she was buying something or checking out, she'd pull that out, stick it on the counter, and then dig out her wallet. So then it's a conversation piece, like, oh my God, does that say Coochie? What is that? Oh, well, let me tell you about it. If you watched, I think it was probably call number 2, we talked about 5 is alive. That's another great way for you to remember to market your business. The point of it is to meet 5 new contacts a day, give them a goodie bag. Doesn't have to be an ask. It's just you saying, oh my gosh, hello, Starbucks barista. It looks like you've had a rough morning. Here's a little treat for me. Make sure everybody in a 5-foot radius knows what you do for a living. So when you're pumping gas, you better make sure the people around you pumping gas also know what you're doing. Don't just go hide in your car. And always have 5 parties on your book. So if you've got 3 parties booked this month, as soon as you hold one, make sure you've got another one booked, right? So you always have 5 parties coming through on your books. Always replace the party you just had. And if you're not booking it at that party, you better make sure you book it with someone in the next 24 to 48 hours to make sure that money is always coming in. If you're not familiar with 5 is alive, we go more into depth on it, and you can see flyers for the Gotta Get bags, I believe, in call number 2, so you guys can check that out. It's in this Facebook event. We've got a couple different apps that are available for you to help market your business. One of the things that Chris did for the spouse group in Orlando was make sure that they had our mobile app downloaded. And if you don't know what our mobile app is, it's not the COO. It is literally a mobile application. So I'm trying to get my phone to wake up. And it's that pink heart, and it says, My Personal Consultant. And you click it open. You have to type in your phone number if it's been a hot minute. And it remembers who your consultant was, and it's going to be you. And this is great. So it shows my face, my info, all that kind of fun stuff. But here's the magic button. If you meet someone and it's weird to give them your business card, you click on that arrow and you can type in their phone number and it gives them your app. Oh, so no more of them losing your business card. Now they're just a button away on the phone. So that's pretty cool. And they've got access to your website. They can send you a text message or call you. So that's just basically how they can find you on here. Ooh. Just texted me. I love it. So that's one way to help market your business. So if you're out and it's casual and you're just like, I left all my business cards at home, then you can just send it via the mobile app, and that's awesome. The Media Center, you guys know how amazing it is. Media Center is how I send out my team newsletters. It's how I send out my customer newsletters, birthday blasts, targeted emails for potential recruits, hostess emails when I'm like, oh, I need this, I have a hot date. If there's a new campaign, new products, I have everybody separated into like where I met them. So if I met, say I met Meredith at a wedding festival last October. She's in like this group for people that I met in wedding festivals last October. So if there's a new wedding festival coming up, or, you know, I just want to touch base with all those people because it's been 6-8 million months, I can just be like, hey, just thinking about you. I want to make sure you saw the new catalog. You can link to a flip book or e-version of the catalog. So the Media Center is great. It's $15 a month. When you are a new consultant, the minute you sign up for it, you get it free for 90 days. So you get the first 3 months free. It's well worth $15 a month after that. I think I have almost 6,000 contacts in my COO now for my 5 years in business. There is no way I can email every single one of them through Gmail without getting spammed or getting flagged for spam. So my Media Center does that for me. So it's worth it for me because it gets my fingers on them. They get to see my name come up in their email and they know I'm not going to spam them. And then the COO app on your phone is also amazing just for you to have as a reference. I check mine like every morning lying in bed to see what y'all's sales are or what happened over the weekend. And I'm real excited about it. Okay. Let's talk about social media because this is everybody's favorite. Okay. You guys have to keep in mind how you're presenting yourself on social media. So if you've just had the worst day of your life, please do not air your dirty laundry on Facebook. Just don't, because your customers can see that. Your customers, even if they don't know you, if you've got a public profile, they're gonna Google you to figure out who the strange lady is coming to their house. And if all they see are your Facebook posts and it's all like, oh, my boyfriend just broke up with me. Oh, my dog died. Oh, life is terrible. Oh my God. All these like big book posts, people are going to be like, whoa, she's a buzzkill. So kind of keep that dirty laundry. Bye, Meredith. Keep that dirty laundry to a minimum, please. Because you don't want to inadvertently lose customers before you ever had them. We live in the South, so it's a good rule to stay away from religion and politics on Facebook. I know it's hard during a political year. You can categorize people into different lists, and that will help you kind of target who gets to see what. I would not really recommend making a habit of friending all your customers on Facebook. That's nothing against any of my customers that may be watching this, but you cap out at 5,000 friends on Facebook. And that's great because it'd be amazing to have 5,000 friends. But I use my Facebook to keep up with the people in my life, all my friends from middle school and high school, my friends from college, my family. I keep up with my customers through the Media Center and my fan page, my business page on Facebook. So the customers that I do friend, or I do accept their friend requests, I put them in a group where they can't see most of my profile. They'll see my Instagram posts, they can see like basic information, but I can target what posts they can see. And if I think that post might be a little too like, if I have to even think like that, then I'm gonna make sure they can't see it. But at that point, I'm also gonna second guess, is that post worth posting? Think about it, right? Because if you're like, oh my God, did you see Sally is blah, 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 or I just went to this wedding and it was awful. Like, why would you ever post something like that on Facebook? Don't do it. So have a business account or a business fan page for your business. It'll show up in Google searches, and that way not everybody has to be your actual friend on Facebook. Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of fun stuff, same thing. Be careful what you post. Memes are funny. Don't post like offensive memes. If you are like, because you just never know who's going to take it wrong. And this is so new for a lot of us navigating this, because years ago we never had to deal with potential employers checking out our Facebook posts and all that kind of fun stuff. So I just want to keep an eye and be smart about it. If you're underage, please don't post how like all these pictures of you drinking, or if you decide to partake in illegal substances, don't post it all over Facebook, right? Because if you're going to do a party at someone who's like very conservative, they're not going to trust you in their house, right? My grandmother, God bless her, is the best at jumping to conclusions about people based on their appearance, right? So God forbid if she ever had a Facebook account, because she would think that we're all crazy. LinkedIn is definitely awesome, but keep it professional, okay? So I'm not the biggest LinkedIn person. I really don't know what I'm doing on it. It's the same with Snapchat. I have no idea what I'm doing. But LinkedIn is usually for potential employers trying to find you. So you can list this as a resume builder, most definitely, but make sure you treat it like a job. So if you need examples of what that means, you can go check out my LinkedIn profile and basically what I have down for my resume for what I do with Pure Romance. Because as I'm running my own business, that is actually like pretty thorough. It's not just like, oh, I sell like shave cream. No, because I manage finances and I manage inventory and I lead a team and I do this and this and this. So you have to think like a business person. And then finally, the lovely YouTubes, where this video will be posted shortly. Same thing. Don't put like polarizing statements on the YouTubes. I keep my YouTube page as pretty much just for Pure Romance stuff. So a lot of these videos, a lot of times if I have something special, I'm listening to my customers. Now that Periscope's kind of big and Facebook Live's kind of big, and I know you can save your Facebook Lives to post on the YouTubes and save them, just kind of know what you're going to say. Don't just go off script and say something inadvertent that then you don't know how to edit out, because sometimes that gets embarrassing. So just keep an eye on it. But yeah, keep it professional. I guess it's just the name of the game. Keep it professional. If you have to think about it or if you question it, don't post it. Sleep on it. You can write it all up. Keep that tab open. If you still feel the same way in the morning, just edit it like 3 times before you post it, but don't go crazy. So your homework for this week, because we're almost out of time, is to find 2 vendor events in your area. That's a place where you can set up a booth and let people know about your business. Bonus points if you actually sign up for them instead of just finding them and you actually go set up a table and who knows who you're going to meet. Complete a monthly income goal sheet to share in next week's webinar. So that's just letting me know what you are thinking of for which goals you'd like. And be prepared to share on Facebook links to your social media pages. So if you've got an Instagram, and I wanted to speak a little bit more on Instagram. So I love my Instagram. So my personal Facebook page is like, it's for me. It's for me and my friends. I post all my funny stuff on there. It's all that kind of fun stuff. For all of you that have friended, chances are you're not going to be able to see all that stuff. Sorry about it. Because basically, like, Sheila, I know we've never met, even though I love you and I'm really excited you're on my team. I don't know where you stand on a lot of the issues that I might be like really passionate about. And I don't want you to be like, oh my God, my Pure Romance grandma, like, she's crazy. She thinks that way. Oh my God. Because you don't need to know that. Just like if it were my boss, if I were working for a corporation, I would not friend my boss on Facebook. I think that's crazy. And I think people who do that are crazy. And that's just me saying that out into the world. Judge me all you want. Don't friend your boss on Facebook. The great thing is I'm not your boss. Yay. But my Instagram is where people are going to see like the real me. So if you haven't Instagrammed me, I'm over yonder at PR by Megan, but you're going to see pictures like my sister-in-law graduated yesterday. I took my mom pole dancing for Mother's Day. So this is where my customers can like see me doing real life things, and it's not always business. So I think it shows a better view kind of what's happening in my life. It's not just one-sided like, oh my God, Megan only talks about Pure Romance. Because while that may be true, I want people to see that I'm not, completely 100% crazy. Like, there's me with a cookie from Panera. I don't know why anybody would really care about that, but I took a picture of it. There's lots of pictures of my dog because I love her. This is like when our team went painting last month. I had like 3 customers ask me questions about that. They were like, oh my God, is that the perfume that you painted with your team? I'm like, yeah, girl, it was. I'm so glad you saw that. Instagram stalker much? Like pictures of my dog in the bed being cute. you will be so surprised by who follows you on Instagram and who comments. I was at my sister-in-law's graduation yesterday, and one of the sign language interpreters was one of my clients, and she posted on my photo, she was like, I looked down in the audience and I recognized your face immediately. How funny. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I knew she looked familiar, but I couldn't place her. And usually I'm never going to go up and be like, did you come to one of my pure romance parties? Because some people might not want to be outed like that in a public setting. But that was really cool. And it was nice to have that interaction with her. And maybe she'll think of me as like, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know. Maybe she'll just be like, yeah, Megan needs all my money because I saw her outside of a work setting. Whoop, whoop. To which case I'll be like, heck yeah. So Instagram for me has been a great outlet to kind of show you like how multifaceted I am as a person. And I also post pictures of money and cupcakes. And everybody loves money and cupcakes. So those usually get a lot of likes. But keep it positive. When all else fails, keep it positive. Don't just be like, my dog died. Because while it sucks, if you're posting negative and sad stuff all the time, people won't want to be around you. All right, so with that, we got less than a minute. I'm going to end this recording.